Yo, yo.
Hey, hey.
What is poppin'?
What's poppin'?
We are definitely back in the building, y'all.
In the building.
It is good to be back home, man.
Yeah.
Man, I was traveling last week, man, in the city, in my hometown, man, in New York City. NY, man, and it was a great occasion that we were there. Posted the rehearsals, man. We did a reunion with Allen A&Me, the greater Allen A&Me Cathedral, where the Floyd and Elaine Flake are the pastors, and they are retiring, man. So we went there to celebrate that momentous occasion.
Right.
And so we didn't come on last week. And we are back.
We are back
Today.
I am your girl, Lady Free.
I am your boy, Pastor J.
Liza's on the line already. We love you so
Auntie,
much, Liza.
Auntie, the powerful woman of God. We thank God for your life and your connection with us.
We had a very powerful our very first women's empowerment event on Sunday. And when I tell you, I could not have even expected what God did in that place. I'm talking about we had laughter, we had tears, we had hugs, we had prophetic word. It was amazing. And I just want to give a shout out to Coach Rana and Gladys and Kia for being part of the panel. It was absolutely amazing. It's called Power in Women. Whenever you see power in women, you might want to get on board. So with that being said,
really,
yes,
just want to take a moment.
I'm so excited. It was amazing. I've never experienced anything like that period. So I'm still kind of excited. I'm still full. Yeah,
God has really shown us what obedience looks like. And that is so important going into today's topic.
Yeah.
Overcoming your insecurities. And a lot of times, and I'm just going to kind of set the stage. We're going to set the stage a little bit. A lot of times, especially us Christians, our insecurities are driven by this very thing that the scripture says it is not God. And sometimes our insecurities are driven by fear. Mm-hmm. It's driven by fear.
Yes.
So what we do, thank you, Aunt Liza. She said, I made it just making it home from Bible study. Yay, good. So what happens, especially as Christians, what we struggle with is am I hearing God's voice, or is that me, or is it just how I'm feeling at this time? So what it does, it causes us to think, and it causes us to question.
Right. And
it causes us to question only because we don't know the outcome. Like, man, if I do this, what's going to happen? Or if I do this, what's not going to happen? Right. If I don't do this, how is it going to not turn out if I don't do it? And so we always wonder what is driven by this major factor of fear.
Right. And to go back, this whole, like, God, my husband,
hey, Carla Brooks.
I'm going to be transparent a little bit. My husband gave me 2 weeks to put on a women's event.
Well, go back to even before then. God allowed us to start our ministry finally. Yes. He blessed us with a building. So we have started our church here in the city of Houston. Sunday nights. Yes, we are so excited about it at 6 p.m.
But see, our ministry is event driven. We do events. It's not just a regular. So no event that you come to, no service you come to is ever going to be the same. I've been to every shift movement event that there has been.
Tisha.
And I've never been to one that was the same, because you never know how God is going to move. And that happened. But he gave me 2 weeks to put on the event. And because I couldn't see the vision and because I got scared, I canceled it. And when I canceled it, I called around to a couple of people that was helping out and let them know.
Fear.
But I didn't know it was fear at the time. What I did was I said, okay, well, I believe God is telling me that he wants this to be done in excellence, so I need more time. So I camouflaged it, and I even lied to myself, basically, right? I went to this event and trying to support my girl Tiffany R. Sings.
Mind-provoking.
And when I did that, I met Coach Rana.
Okay, babe, you got to move.
No, I know. Hold on. When I met Coach Rana, she helped me to understand that even the most powerful people go in fear. Even if they're afraid, they still do it. So I actually decided to go ahead and unpostpone. I didn't put it out there that it was postponed to the world. And what God did was absolutely amazing, but it was because of my insecurities and my fears that caused me to say, I can't do this. And then I tried to say, God told me not to do it. I really did think at the time until he woke me up. Yeah. So, hey, Tanisha.
Mind-provoking.
We miss you too, baby.
Ashley. Hey, girl, congratulations on your acting thing, man. I saw the post, man.
Ashley.
We got actor Ashley Jones. You know, the Martin Lawrence's sister.
See,
so thank God for her, my sister.
So we talking about Tisha. Overcoming our insecurities.
So we're talking about overcoming. So a lot of our behaviors, stealing, lying, cheating, etc. It comes from a level of insecurities. Comes from that. It comes from insecurity. What's up, Darren? How you doing? It comes from insecurities. And we're going to delve into it. Let me go back. I had to write some notes down because, you know, I'm in my 50s, y'all. I don't remember as good as I used to.
That's the reason?
That's the reason.
And let that be the reason.
Let that be the reason. Yeah,
Miss Carla Brooks, how are you, my love? I met Miss Carla
Pastor
at
Mia's
the
on
in prayer, and she is an amazing woman of God as well.
Yes. So let's delve into this, man.
Hey, Mia.
Insecurities comes from the inability to cope, the lack of self-confidence, and carrying a lot of inadequacies.
Explain.
Well, you know how when you get to dealing with issues and you've learned how to cope with them, let's go back to inability to cope now.
Okay.
Then you learn you get things to help you deal with or help to soothe what you don't want to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of times it becomes unbearable. You know, that coping is like, okay, I can't even cope with this no more. So, but this is when you continuously build up on those insecurities and you don't deal with it and you don't really understand the level of dealing with it. Because if you don't deal with insecurities, guess what happens? Wrong things happen, and then relationships that you are in and that you get in, it becomes toxic because of your insecurities.
So your coping covers your insecurities.
The coping covers it, yes.
Okay,
cope covers it. Coping covers it. Inadequacies is what you feel deficient. Your deficiencies, what you feel like you can't do. You know what I'm saying? What you feel like you can't do. The lack thereof, for a better word.
Right.
For lack of a better word. You know what I'm saying? What you feel you can't do, what you feel like you're not good at. You know what I'm saying? Or wow. You know what I'm saying? And so one thing we do when we have insecurities is we people please. We try to people please.
Yeah, man.
We try to people please at the expense of our own needs, our own wants, and our desires. So what we're doing as a people pleaser with insecurities, what we're trying to do is we're around people just to get what we want.
We need them to validate us.
We need the validation from these people. So we do whatever you got to do to please, we overcompensate.
Right. So basically when we try to get their validation, and that validation would make us feel better about who we are, which will make it seem like our insecurities really are not as big as they are. Okay, got it.
Yes, I like that mind-provoking. I miss you so much, girl.
What she say?
You've been gone. Sometimes let me read back. Yeah, I know, Mia. I said the same thing, Mia. But God, I missed her. Sometimes it is your dependence on other people that can breed fear. Yes, it is.
That's true.
Yes, it is.
That's so true.
And then Mind-Provoking she said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. I love this speech. Yes.
Absolutely.
Girl, we miss you. That's so true.
Absolutely.
That's so true. So Gad, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was done.
So we talking about, so it can be, looking for validation from other people can become dangerous. It can become dangerous. But you know why? Dangerous. Because what if this person that you're trying to please and you're trying to get validation from rejects you?
Then your insecurities get bigger.
Then now you're only feeding into what's making you insecure in the first place.
Absolutely. Thus causes the cycle.
Thus keep calling the cycle of insecurities, because now we're looking to people please.
Right.
People please. Hey, cousin, Aisha.
Is that she?
Yeah, that's she. What up, baby girl?
She says, yep, it used to be hard to say no. But thank God I grew out of it.
That's right. People pleasing. You go saying yes. Knowing that's a good one, Shishi. Knowing that you don't want to do it, or knowing that you can't do it.
Right.
And you'll still say yes just to be validated in your in which you're deficient in.
Yeah.
So you'll say yes. Do you got $10 I can borrow? And you really don't want to give it, but you'll say yes anyway, just to please that person, to feel validated in you giving them, or you feel validated in you being able to be there for that person.
Or when someone asks you to do something that you know sometimes goes totally against
what
morals,
you believe, exactly,
your standards, and stuff. And it's like you really want to help them, but you know helping them will cause you to do something immoral.
Exactly.
And you have a choice to make, to either tell them, no, I'm not doing that because that don't sit well with me, or you do it and hate yourself for it later.
Hate yourself for it later.
Thus, your insecurities grow.
That's right. Love you more, cuzzo. Love you more. So that's one aspect of insecurities. But here's one that I've dealt with.
Okay.
Narcissistic listening.
Oh, come on.
That is a very controlling listener. Let's talk about how.
Down.
See, this person is always in competition with you.
Right.
Always gotta be one up on you.
Right.
Always gotta be one up. Always gotta do something better than you. And because he gotta be one up, or she gotta be one up, they don't even listen or hear the in the entirety of what you're trying to tell them, what you succeeded in. So they control what your success is to not put the attention on you, but one up you so that they can get the attention on them
and feel validated. Right. So that's how they validate themselves. When you have a narcissistic listener, that person validates themselves by making you look small or invalid so that they can look like they're something or somebody.
Yes,
and will never take responsibility for their bad behavior.
Never take responsibility. Never.
Okay, so I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so with the narcissistic listener, how does that, like, can you go a little deeper in how that plays into their insecurity?
Well, the thing is, if you are, let me read one comment and I'm gonna go, because what she said, I like what Mama Vogue said. Insecurities come from those who were not poured security. Our mindset shifts our childhood based on negative experiences that were seemingly not validated or dealt with. Narcissistic listening isn't listening, it's selective hearing. Exactly.
It's selective hearing.
Exactly. And that happens. Narcissistic listening happens when the behavior is shaped when you are a young child.
Yeah.
And if you have been, you know how sometimes parents get busy and you trying to tell Mom, I listen to this, I did this and that, and they be like, okay, hold on, baby, I'm busy now, or hold on, baby, I'm on the phone. There's a level of rejection and there's a level of not listening to that child, or hearing what they saying, or you don't have the time for that. So that shapes them into wanting to be validated because they needed that care coming up. So what happens is they've developed a behavior shaped into not listening. Exactly. Not listening because they were not listening to. It is important as parents that we care, because that's where a lot of the insecurities start from. It starts from the fact that childhood. These qualities and these characteristics that are shaped from our childhood.
Yeah.
Needing that care, needing that love, needing that you look good today, needing that, okay, I'm listening to you. What happened in school today? Or how was your game? Just allowing the child to get out and express an expression.
Yeah.
If your expression is not listened to, then you're not going to feel invalidated inside. You're not going to feel validated, and you're not going to feel secure.
Yeah.
Even if something as small as you bringing home an A and you excited about it. Man, I studied for this test and this is an accomplishment of mine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then when you get home, it's brushed off like, hold up. Look, I got to do this. I got to do that. I'm late for work. I got to go. And it's like you're brushed off. So you don't feel secure even in someone listening to you.
Yes.
And because you didn't listen to me, I grew up desiring and craving to be listened to. Yeah. So I can't hear you. Mm-hmm. I just need to be validated.
Exactly. And what happens is it plays a very, very important part in how you really want to be heard. So now wanting to be heard, you ignore somebody else. So it's hard for you to celebrate somebody who's coming to you with an accomplishment because you don't want that accomplishment to threaten your You don't want that to threaten your validation on what you need, so you ignore that. But you did that, but I did this. I did this, and and I
one up. Every time,
and it is shaped that way. That's how.
Because if I let you get one up on me, then that means you make me look small.
Yeah, it make me look small, and then people are going to celebrate you, and guess what? Not me.
Come on.
Yeah. So that's what happens in that. Anybody ever dealt with that? That narcissistic listening.
Okay, let me read what Tisha said. Tisha said, that's why I don't make promises anymore. At the moment, it may be yes and end up having to say I can't when the actual time comes. Yes. Understood.
Tisha, and we're praying for you. I heard you was down, a little down right now, but we're praying for you, sis.
But you're going to have to read them because I don't have my
narcissistic,
real glasses.
This is mind-provoking. She said, narcissistic is a personality disorder which is derived, hold on, something happened.
From neglect,
abandonment,
trauma,
exactly. Yes.
Genetics and
learned behavior. Exactly. We on the same page. What's up, Larry? Hey, man, I'm happy for you, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, she says, I'm trying to read. Yep, I can't celebrate you because of jealousy, but it's really admiration masked by jealousy.
Yes.
I've seen that happen.
Yes.
I've seen that happen to, Pastor Jay has a friend. And I've seen that friend mask his admiration for him with jealousy. I've seen that happen.
Oh, you think you're better than me?
Right.
I'm trying to be better than you. I'm just, man, I thought this was exciting for me. It happened in my life, and I want to share it with you.
Right.
And just brush it off. And it's like, but that really tells you, that really tells you who you should be around. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a negative attitude that really doesn't help you grow out of or bring you out of insecurities that you may not even know you have, or you may not even know how to get out on your own.
But it also speaks to the fact that now hearing this and learning about it, now when I see these characteristics, I can say, oh, okay, that's not nothing against me. This is because, they're going through trying to be validated. So I'm not going to take it personal anymore. There's some people out here who we take personal those things that are happening to us that people seem not to just people one up us, or you think you better than me type stuff. And we take it personal sometimes, but instead of taking it personal, now learning about it, we can say, okay, I'm not going to take it personal because I know what it is now.
Exactly. And then now we have people with insecurities become very, very defensive. Very, very defensive. Yeah. And these are people who cannot deal with or take constructive criticism. I got this. I don't need you to tell me how to do. Yeah. I got this. I'm good. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? Weakness to them will show an inadequacy in their head. I can't, So people who are very defensive are very arrogant, are very strong-willed and very strong-minded. Right. You can't tell them nothing. Wow. You can't tell them nothing. Have you ever seen an arrogant person and be strong and wrong? And you try to tell them, and you only trying to tell. Listen, man, look, if you go down that road, man, I got this, man.
Yeah. You know how many times I done did.
You know how many times I did it.
Right, that person.
Insecurity. Don't want to look weak. Why not?
Don't want to look weak, and that's the root of the problem.
Why not?
Because why we can't in your childhood, somewhere you learned that you were not adequate enough.
Exactly.
You were not adequate enough. Or
everything you did was not good enough.
Was not good enough.
Yeah. So you got to put on this facade of being very I know it all, and you can't tell me something because with everything you did or everything you tried to portray or present, it wasn't good enough.
It's like inside of you that insecurity is in pain. So every time I touch it, it causes you pain, and you lash out with, "I got this. I know what I'm doing. Why you acting like, oh, so you know more than me now? So you know more than me. So you know," and it comes off sarcastic.
Here's an example. Like, I know like a lot of us want our kids to be A students. We want them to be A students. We want them to be better than what we were in school. Right. So if they come home with a B and they're excited because they didn't fail.
That class
so
was
they
hard.
Come home with a B because that class was hard. They had to deal with stuff at home. They had to deal with stuff at school. And deal with a whole lot of stuff. Right. So that B was I got a B, I passed. Because in a minute, let's be honest, I've had I thought I failed certain classes and thought, okay, dude, I did a good job. And you come home and you present this B to your parent, and they be like, no.
That's not good
enough.
That's not
This is an A house. If you don't come in here with an A, you failed. And it's like, wow.
Or you playing sports and you feel like you did a good job, but then on the way home in the car, you getting scrutinized for everything you didn't do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, I was hard on my son. I was hard on him. Playing football. No, man, you didn't score a touchdown today. So guess what? You didn't play to the ability that I know you can play that. So my son did everything he could to make sure he proved to his dad that he can do it. Yeah. And he did it so much until he got hurt. He injured himself.
Yeah.
He injured himself. But I had to kind of retract and come back like, no, you are good enough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because if we make them feel that the work that they're putting in and they come with, and again, I know our push is for them to be the best, but the best is going to come when they go through the process.
Come on, best is going to come.
It's going to come when they go through the process. So it may be a B today, it may be a B tomorrow, but it's not going to stay that because they're getting in the habits of, a couple of B's are going to turn into an A.
It's going to turn into a healthy mindset that my parent accepts me.
Exactly.
Even when I'm not perfect.
Even when I'm not perfect.
Even when I'm not perfect.
Because that's what develops that insecurity of being defensive.
Yeah.
So our next one, y'all, man, y'all are, man.
What did Al West say?
Al, man, good, my dude, I love you, bro. Al said that's exactly what's going on in our world's government, and it causes wars. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. It's going on in the government, man, and it's a little thing that's going on today, that me and my wife were debating about on the way here about Donald Trump still being able to run for president with 34 felonies. And our black men today can't even get a job with one felony on their record. So I heard that Jamal Bryant Bryant got a little saying that going out, that if he's
a question he posed.
So I believe,
should a felony be considered when a man that's trying to feed his family and get a job get turned down, or even have it on the application anymore to indicate it if our president who has 34 felonies can run for president? That's a whole nother show.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. We're gonna do.
But at the same time, it is happening in our government.
Elijah said, your insecurities can hinder your deliverance from your issues. Yes, exactly. Especially when you look for validation from people or things. Exactly.
It's time to be transparent.
Tough love, though, works. Well, I hear what you're saying, Al. I hear what you're saying. But love does not have to be tough. Because love is what it is.
Love actually takes a hard heart, a tough heart, and turns it tender.
Yes.
So that's what love really is. And I know and I understand, like, tough love means you gotta put your foot down. But really what that is, we've called it tough love, but really what it is setting boundaries and having standards. And having discipline and continuously like upholding a standard. It's not necessarily tough love. And then it's all according to how you give the love. But love, perfect love is supposed to cast out all fears.
Exactly.
It's supposed to tenderize.
That's right. Now you have attention seekers.
That's another insecurity. Attention seekers.
And these people, let me give you an example of somebody who seeks attention. They'll put themselves down or even put themselves up to get validation.
So that people can say, girl, your hair is cute. But
yeah.
Girl, no, my hair not cute.
And then be like, man, this dress don't fit me right. Or this suit don't look too good on me. You know, oh man, this just don't look nice. It's just to get you to say, God, that look good.
Yes, it do, girl.
Yes, it do. Oh, I didn't get my hair done today, and it's just I look a mess today, and I can't. You knew you would look a mess when you came out the house.
Or you probably don't look a mess. And you're saying that because you want somebody else to tell you what you already know is that you look nice.
Yes.
That attention seeker, or you put yourself down so that people can build you up.
Yes, they do play victim. Yes. They play victim of, it hurt my feelings. You know, they just hurt me. They hurt me.
Yeah.
She hurt my feelings. Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even that extreme. Because if I could be transparent, and I'm just going to be transparent. That's my insecurity. I think that I'm not extreme, but I think that when I have an insecurity, I'm more apt to, in my insecurity, be honest about how I truly feel about myself.
Yes.
And those feelings sometimes are not like the greatest thing that I feel about me.
Yes.
So then, and for me, like we were talking about this earlier, because I asked Pastor Jay, I said, but which one of the insecurities do you think I am? And he told me that one. And before he even came out with it, I was like, yep, that's it. Because when you were saying all of them and we were discussing them, that's the one that stuck out to me that I do. Yeah. And I know where mine stem from. So now knowing it, my desire is to take that insecurity, uproot it out of my life and be done with it.
That's
because
right.
I don't need that.
That's right. Liza said the word says love and kindness. Come on, Aunt Liza. That's right.
Sadie Crane.
She said love and kindness. Tough love, Pastor Mia. She said tough love can also be interpreted as rejection. Yes.
So you have to be very careful.
You got to be careful.
Set the standards.
That's right.
Have the boundaries, but make sure that it is according to what love really is.
Yes. Mind Provoker said, twist your words, create false narratives, cause unnecessary. Oh, hold on.
Conflict.
Sheesh. Yeah, I could exactly. Oh,
I can go
they get
on
it to
for days on attention seeking. You know what? That's true. You can definitely go on and on about attention seekers. And I'm one to say I have fit into a couple of those categories, especially growing up. I'm the third child of 4 girls. And yeah, that was one way I believe, if I could think back, was my
Mama Cheeks.
Seeking. Is that Mama Cheeks? Hey, Mama Cheeks.
We love you.
Absolutely.
Oh, we missed you on Sunday.
So beautiful in that dress.
We missed you on Sunday. We did. Oh my God, it was awesome. Anyway,
Al West says, I don't mind just because people
need compliments, but I can't stand because of evildoers. Mm-hmm. Got you. Man, listen, like and share, y'all. Like and share, y'all. And so here's the thing. All right, here's another one, y'all. Now I know y'all could, cause this is something that I come across a lot, and to be honest with you, I've done it. I've done this thing myself.
It's hard to admit your insecurities.
Yeah, it's hard to admit your insecurities because everybody
people see your ugly. Yeah, you don't even want to see your own ugly.
But this one is what people do to really hide that ugly. So, and this is exaggerating your accomplishments and your events.
Talk about it.
Like prime example, like saying that you've was the president of the Cologne Club. The baby club, knowing you didn't even work there.
No, baby, not baby club. The president of the Beta Club in school.
The Beta Club.
He thought you ain't even worked there. Yeah, I was the president of the Beta Club, man. I was on the debate team, and you just basically watched the debates.
because what happens with this, the reason why the truth to you is not enough. Like, so you gotta exaggerate the truth. It's not enough. The truth is inadequate to you. So it's like you got to really get attention or to really get validated. You got to be here instead of just being truthful and dealing with that.
And really, the truth is enough.
The truth is enough.
You just don't feel like that if you tell that truth that you're gonna get the validation you need. that means that void is very big.
It's very big.
It's very
like
big.
You gotta. I done
the
been
big
around
fish stories.
Yeah. See, I'm from New York. I'm from New York.
Bass.
But see, you know what the crazy part is now? I'm from New York. Even before they had Google, we would really go around and ask, "Did you do that?"
Right? Yeah.
Man, you just lied, man.
See,
I talked to my boy. We'll call it out. We'll call it out. And nowadays, you don't got a friend, but you got Google. Okay, let me see. You said you was a who? Okay, what's the name of the club? Google. See, this got a whole nother picture on it, man. Why did you even say that? You know what I'm saying?
And especially now, because the craving that we possess now is likes and social media presence and all of that stuff. So we over-exaggerate. We over-exaggerate to get validation. And for some people, it's just normal. For some people, it's regular. But for some people, they need that validation, because if they don't have that, it does something to them not to receive that validation.
Peter, what's up, my guy?
Peter,
what the guan, Peter? Wait a minute. I was laughing because of what mind provoking.
What she say?
She said, "Man, I got a BMW, money for days, plenty of honeys.
Yeah.
Yet they actually broke living with their mama." That is true.
That happens.
That happens. Yo, man, I got. Yo, let me borrow $10, man. I ain't got it, man. I gotta go to the bank.
Right. And to be honest, some of us got into relationships with those over-exaggerating. Thinking they had it like that, and then found out later that you fell in love with somebody that stayed at home with their mama.
Yes, that's right. Blown out of proportion truth.
Right.
Just unnecessary.
Right.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. And let's be honest with it, though. I mean, because this goes on a lot. You know what I'm saying? Some people really, really have not dealt with themselves, or they don't love themselves enough to really say, hey, this is just me. You know what I'm saying? I really had to go through a whole lot of things, and a whole lot of downs and a whole lot of outs to really realize, man, I gotta really accept me for who I am or who I'm becoming. Now remember this, you're not gonna always be that same person.
That's good.
You're not gonna always be that person that stays at the same level, because every day you grow.
We are always becoming.
Yeah, every day you're becoming.
Yes.
Every day you're learning something different.
Right.
Not just about society, but about yourself. So if
Absolutely.
you're learning these things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm learning, and I had to learn this because I would, coming from New York, who I was known in New York.
Right.
But even being known, I didn't think that was good enough, because I wanted to be accepted. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to be validated.
Not realizing that people that really know you, they do honor you.
Yeah.
I've seen it for myself.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not necessarily the people outside who we try to get validation from that's not giving us what we need. It's actually the person inside of us who, no matter how much the validation we receive from the outside, that person is never going to be satisfied until the spiritual you that you are receives the love that God has for you, understands the plan that God had for your life, understand that God says you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and believe it.
Exactly.
He says fearfully, which means respectfully. He respectfully and wonderfully took his time and made you.
Exactly.
And created a plan for you, and then started your life here on earth so you could walk that plan out. And
Mama
our insecurities get in the way.
Mama Cheeks, we love you just because. We just love you. I promise you. Just like you said earlier, no strings attached. We love you just because.
Just because.
But she said this. She said most insecure people have been trained to be that way because others only acknowledge them when they lie.
Wow. Or others only acknowledge them when they victimize themselves.
Yes.
Or whatever the case.
Yes.
That's true.
That's awesome, Mother.
That's true.
Aunt Liza said, why is it that you can receive validation somewhere else, but not from your spouse or for their insecurities?
Okay, read that again.
Okay, why is it that, I got it slow. Why is it that you can receive validation from someone else, but not your spouse for their insecurities?
Okay, Aunt Liza.
So in other words, what you're saying, Aunt Liza, is that you can receive the validation or want it from somebody else and not your spouse?
Okay, Aunt Liza, kind of break that down for us, because
but not just
I don't
you
want
can
to
receive
interpret it
from
wrong.
someone else, but not your spouse. Okay. Oh, so you can receive validation from somebody else, but not your spouse. I just want to be clear with what you're saying. So kind of explain what you're saying with that.
Explain it so we won't.
Some people talk imaginary thoughts out. Yes, they become too comfortable with their spouse while masking with others outside of your spouse. Yes.
Is that the answer to Liza's? Yeah, that's mind provoking to Liza. So Liza says, why is it important? Why is it that you can receive validation from someone else, but not your spouse for their insecurities? And mind provoking.
I guess. I mean, if I could,
let me finish. Please. If yeah, let me finish. I was trying to say it in a nice way.
Shut up, Jesse. Shut up, Pastor.
No, that's not what I was saying. I honor you, man of God, but I was trying to finish. And now I have to start over. Liza say, why is it that you can receive validation from someone else, but not your spouse for their insecurities? And mind provoking says they become too comfortable with their spouse while masking with others outside of their spouse.
So you wanted to read again what I had just read
Sometimes
to tell me to be quiet?
No, That is, you see?
She done told me to be quiet, and I just read that for her to read it again.
See how that go? I asked him to let me finish my statement about what Liza said.
Oh, she said because they go outside for validation. You know what it is?
Oh, okay.
Okay, got you. That's true. But you know what it is, though? You know why a lot of people, because sometimes in marriage, we either use their insecurities and we use that against them. And so the level of validation or the level of the need for the validation for your spouse is not a safe place.
Wow.
It's not a safe place. So they go seek it from somebody who they don't know that could give them an honest answer for somebody who don't know me. So sometimes you feel trustworthy with somebody you don't know. But again, if you need to get validation from somebody else, my validation, what I had to learn, I don't care who it was, I couldn't get that validation.
It wasn't enough.
It still wasn't enough. I had to really line up with the word of God, and I had to line up with God because that's who validated me, because he created me. So he knew my flaws. He knew my insecurities.
Yeah, we try everything.
Yeah.
So when we say, okay, and it's backwards, I tried everything. I tried to get validation outside of any way that I could, but then I came back to the point of saying I got to get my validation from God.
But two, sometimes, and sometimes we don't realize, especially now I know Aunt Liza is a powerful woman of God.
Absolutely.
But she's a stern, powerful woman of God. She mean what she say, and she say what she mean. Yeah. So some people who are insecure may take her sternness as an attack. And not realize that. So there could be miscommunication in the validation. So there's a breakdown because of your sternness, but not understanding that sometimes God will use you, not sometimes, because you are the helper in your situation.
Absolutely.
So when you're saying it, if I'm not secure in who I am, then what you're saying as a powerful woman of God may not receive because of the place that I'm in spiritually.
Because we have to remember our insecurities have a voice. They bark.
Yes.
They come out fighting. They don't like to be touched. They don't like to be uncovered.
Exactly.
So when someone speaks to your insecurity or says something that makes you feel invalid because you already feel, now if you didn't have that issue, then nothing they say will bother you and it wouldn't even matter.
Exactly.
But because you have that already, you can't make me feel insecure. It's the fact that I already feel insecure, and when you say something, that what you said made my insecurities uncovered.
Exactly.
And now I have to face it, and now I think you see it, and if you see it, you're gonna make me feel even worse than what I feel, and now I gotta fight you and try to cover that back up.
Yes. Mama Cheek said, sometimes the spouse feels insecure in your relationship and begins to live to please you, resorting to lies.
Exactly. Come on,
exactly.
Mama Cheeks.
Exactly. She said, Aunt Liza said, but if you are continuing to pour into them and they are offended by what you say, but can receive the same thing from somebody else. Well, the thing is, at least the message is being put across. So sometimes we can't take it personal if it's not being received from us. Because sometimes like this weekend, me and my wife experienced that. I had to learn to not even say nothing, because something that I probably would have said to my wife, it would have offended her. And only because the place that she was in, she was already in that place. So what I had to do was not, at that point now, see, that's why we got to use our God wisdom. We got to know when to say it. And because as women and men of God, we are influential. You know what I'm saying? In the drive and in the push to God. We got to be influential. And then we got to be wise. We got to be wise. So knowing to be wise, we got to know when to say and when to just pray. And when to just pray.
Wow. When
to
say and when to pray.
When to say and when to pray. So at that time, my wife, I didn't say nothing. I went straight to God. And because I did that, the very thing that I wanted to portray to her without saying it to her, she went somewhere and got everything that I wanted to say to her, but she got it from somewhere else. It didn't make me feel no way. It was just like, thank you, God.
That somebody got through.
Somebody got through.
Yeah.
So sometimes it may take a nation. It may take a village. It'll take God. God to use. One thing about God, he is so strategic. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. And the way sometimes he gets messages through us, it may not go through me or the spouse. It may go through to the pastor, or it may go through the friend.
To the spouse, and the spouse will be able to, at that point, give confirmation,
confirm,
and
exactly,
lift you up.
Exactly.
It's so funny because when it used to be when I would tell Pastor Jay certain things, and I felt like he didn't hear my validation or my encouragement to him, and then he would go and get on the phone with somebody else, not realizing this person is going to tell him something, and then he'll come back excited, like, "Babe, you ain't gonna believe what so and so said to me today," and I would hear him say the same thing I said, and I would be like, "Really?"
Yeah.
Like in my head, I'm thinking, I just told you that, and you act like it was nothing. But they said it's like you all excited. But what I had to realize is I was seeking validation at that point, and him reacting to me. So sometimes we try to tell them and validate them and do that stuff, not saying it's anybody. I'm gonna talk about me, so that he could say to me, "Babe, wow, okay, that was good." But now I've learned that, if I say it and he don't hear me, all I say is, "Lord, just please let somebody else come along and say it. If this is you, let somebody else come along and say it, because all I want him to do is get it. It don't matter if it come from me or somebody else. I just want him to get it."
And then understand this too. If there is validation that's needed, that means that there is a wound.
Yeah.
That means that there is a dis-ease somewhere. That there is discomfort somewhere. There is a void somewhere.
Yeah.
Because those are the people who are looking for validation.
Yeah.
So we must speak to not the person who needs the validation, but speak to the issue that causes them to not need the validation. In other words,
come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so we speak to the issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or really ask God to show us what's inside of them that they need validation. Is it one of these? Is it the fact that they have not been told that they were loved? Or were they told that they were not good enough? Were they told? So we got to really understand.
They not validated as a kid?
Yeah, were they not validated as a kid? So we got to really understand the cause of what's making them need this validation. Because if we speak to somebody to the validation that they're needing, they're gonna reject it.
And sometimes your spouse is like your kids. It's like, "Mama, you have to say that. You have to say I look good. You have to say." But then when somebody else said it means something because they don't have to say it.
Yeah.
They're saying it, and it comes off as that's probably the truth because they don't have to say it. And then you have to think about this too. If this is happening where you're constantly validating and uplifting your spouse, and your spouse is getting frustrated with you or any of that, you got to know there's a snake on the vine somewhere.
Exactly. That's dope.
That you're battling not with your spouse, you're battling with spiritual warfare.
Exactly.
There's a snake on the vine somewhere.
That's beautiful. Al said, "Beware of beautiful lies and appreciate the ugly truth." That's right, Al. Come on, Al.
Appreciate the ugly truth.
Appreciate the ugly truth. But
Teddy, my brother's on the line.
Yeah,
hey.
But that's true. Ted. We have to really know. And this is one thing that we have to do when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? You got to challenge especially when you're going through these negative or these validation deficiencies and issues, you really got to challenge your thoughts, your negative thoughts, because that's where it starts in. You know what I'm saying? You're telling yourself, I'm not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we overthink. Sometimes we overthink. Sometimes we put too much in our thinking. And sometimes when God is saying something, we even think about, because I do it. We think about what God, is this God or is this me?
Right.
And one thing I had to learn is that when you got to question what God is saying, then that's not faith. That's not faith. If you got to question it. So you got to truly understand, okay, if God said this, let me get in my secret corner so that I can get direction now. Not so I can question whether this is him or not. Now it's like, let me get direction. Let me get a confirming word, because anytime God will say something, guess what? We can find out what he says in the word. In the word of God. Yeah. If he says go, look where it's in the book. It's in the book.
It's in the book.
And even too, like with these deficiencies and these needs of validation and these needs of having all of these things that we need, that is actually in a lot of these the 7 churches of Asia Minor. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna continue teaching on this on Sunday, so y'all don't want to miss. You want to be there. But anyway, I know I went before you, babe, but it's okay. But anyway, but the Church of Philadelphia kind of went through this. They went through this rejection. They went through this cast out. They went through this being left alone. They went through this thing. So if you really understand, you will find your insecurity in each one of these churches. Yeah. This is why Jesus wrote this letter to them.
And these are Christians. These are people that love God, and they still dealing with something that you could find yourself in one of them, and then you can hear what God would say to you and help you.
Yes.
I love how you said
Teddy McLeod.
You have to challenge your insecurity.
Challenge it.
Don't just let them come and say, well, shoot, that's just how I think. Challenge them.
Yeah, challenge. Yeah, the thinking. Am I thinking out of the box? You know what I'm saying? Am I being too hard on? And a lot of us too. A lot of us put pressure on yourself. Yeah. We are hard. My wife does that.
Okay, talk about it.
You put pressure on yourself. It gotta be a perfect. It has to look a certain way. It has to be a certain way. It has to be perfect. It has to be in order. And if it is outside of that order, then it is not right to you. It's like you cannot operate.
Yes, I'm a slick perfectionist.
Mama Prelly.
However, I'm learning this one thing, and my coworker told me this today. He said you got to get beyond yourself because you're not perfect.
No,
and I'm learning that.
Is that a woman thing?
No. What? No, it's some men that are perfectionists as well. It's a people thing. It's a flaw. It's something that we learn from somewhere. And the beautiful part about it is the first point of healing and the first point of coming to an understanding of what you need to get rid of is to acknowledge it. And I acknowledge my stuff. I have no choice but to acknowledge it because I don't want it no more.
Exactly.
Mama Pearly is on the line. Let's give some shout outs. We got, Mama of course, Pearly. Like I said, my brother Teddy McLeod is on the line. We have Watheria Harriet. Hi, Watheria. How are you? And Michelle Rucker, James Jenkins. Welcome to Shift Real Talk TV. We just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. All right.
Yes. Mind provoking. We're gonna call you later. I want to see what you're doing next week, Tuesday.
But yeah, man. And the thing about these insecurities, they're fueled. The petrol is fear. Fear of failing, fear of not being loved, fear of this, fear of that. Insecurities are fueled by your fears. So whatever your fears are, whenever you go into a moment where you're fearful, expect the insecurities to be right there because they like cousins. They like best friends. You always gonna see them together. Exactly. And that's when you will know to step aside for a second, sit down somewhere, and challenge those thoughts. Okay, is my spouse trying to hurt me by what she's saying, no matter how she says it? If you know she's a strong-willed individual, or if you know she's a docile person, it doesn't matter. Or him on the other side of it. Are they trying to hurt me, or are my insecurities because of my fears rising up, and now I'm putting up a shield, I'm putting up a guard so that they can't see my weaknesses?
Yes. Yeah. So Al said, patience and prayer brings clarity of all things. Yes. Mind provoking said, I'm not perfect, yet I strive towards perfection.
Absolutely.
Though it will not be reached, I will remain on a path that will always be elevated. That's right.
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
we're gonna call you. And you have a tendency to overcompensate your insecurities. That's right. See, the thing is, understand this too. This goes on a lot, and this is one of the things that insecure people deal with. Sometimes they put people down, or they dog people out, or they talk about people to make themselves look bigger and better.
Yeah.
So when you have these insecurity characteristics, when somebody else does that to you, or not even, sometimes we may not do it purposely, but you trying to get something in somebody's head, because that is an insecurity characteristic, sometimes your delivery can kind of push somebody to close up, because they don't want to feel inferior, or they don't want to feel less than a person, or a woman, or a man. If you talking to me, you need to do that right, and that's what's wrong with you. I keep telling you to do this, and it's like, hold on, wait a minute.
You keep telling me.
You keep telling me. That's not the way to get your point across, because that is an insecurity characteristic. When somebody continuously puts somebody down just to get the validation themselves,
just to feel like they smart.
Yeah, so they'll passively aggressively talk about you in front of your face, or aggressively talked about you behind your back.
Yeah.
Right. So that goes down, man. That goes down.
And what we have to remember, because we got to bring it back to the book. Insecurities come from deficiencies.
Yes.
The fear is lack of faith. So if you really want to, like, the guide, we said this is the guide to self-love, and what else? What was it? This is a guide. Well, basically, listen, the word of God says, love thy neighbor. So I got to love you as I love myself. So we have to become aware of these insecurities and these deficiencies, so that we can start to take those out and replace them. Now, don't just get rid of them and think that's it. You have to replace them with something. And there's nothing in this universe that's strong enough to replace those things but what the word of God says about you.
Exactly.
It's the secret handbook with a lot of secret codes for God's children. Only God's children will understand the secrets of the kingdom of God. So if you really want to understand and know who you are, you go to the one who created you. He's the only one, not your mother, not your father, not your friends, not your spouse. Nobody really truly knows who you are except for the one who created you. Go to him.
And what does this say? What does the scripture says too? And we got to remember this. The very thing that is driving us, God said he didn't give it to you.
Yes, right. He did not give you that spirit.
The very thing that drives us is the very thing that God said, I didn't give to you.
I didn't give it.
I gave you the power of what? Love.
Love, power, and a sound mind.
And a sound
Think
mind.
about that.
And a sound mind.
The opposite of it.
Yeah. So having that sound mind really is saying, I am created in his image.
Yeah.
I am created in his image. So
when you look in the mirror,
when I look in, God made this. I saw somebody, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they went and had that surgery. They had that surgery because they felt they was very inadequate about and very insecure about how they looked.
Right.
So they felt
how big they are.
Yeah, how big they were.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to say it the nice way.
But you was
my
doing
boy
this
Tyrone Lewis is on.
He was trying to say it nice, but he was steady doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, so they didn't like the way how big they were, so they had the surgery.
Their size, right.
Yeah, and hoping that this surgery is going to help them now lose the weight that they need to lose.
So they could feel good about themselves.
But the point is, I mean, you gotta love yourself enough to know that what God created, he didn't make a mistake in when he created. If he created you big, if he created you small, if he created you short, if he created you tall, God did not make a mistake in why he made it.
Your bone
why he made you.
And everything was perfect for the size that you are.
Because he needs everybody to build the kingdom. Yeah. So your size is needed to build the kingdom. Your height is needed. No matter how tall you are or how short you are, it is needed. God
you
knew.
Said your size is needed to build the kingdom?
God,
you know what I thought about?
What?
You could either be a pebble or you could be a brick.
Yeah, that's right. Because what it does, it builds the kingdom.
Right.
That's what he uses.
You could be a pebble on the ground to hold that little piece up, or you could be a brick.
Exactly. He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
Your strength and your size is needed as a branch.
But society tells
kingdom.
us. Society tells us, and this is the trick. And this goes and it plays into our insecurities.
Unless they unhealthy. Some people they unhealthy in their size.
Yeah, if you are unhealthy in your size, then what you do is you take the proper steps to get healthy, right? But you don't take it upon yourself to make a drastic change. You know what I'm saying? Because you feel insecure. That's different. That's different. Exactly. That's different. That's a totally different thing. Saying, So yeah. So Mama Pearlie's on. Yeah, we should love our mate as we want them to love us. Exactly. Absolutely. Exactly, Mama Chief. Mama Pearlie said, self-love start with one self, which will allow you to love others with God's spirit.
Come on, Mama Pearlie,
we love you, and we were so happy to see you yesterday.
I know that's right.
Oh my God, Mama P,
on Sunday.
We love you so much.
Yes.
Power of love and a sound mind. That's right. Thank you, Pastor J. Look, man, my boy Al West. Man, yeah. So listen, y'all. We're gonna finish this. So if you in the Houston area,
if you in Houston,
you in the Houston area, the Lord has blessed us to possess the building.
Yeah.
So we meet on Sundays. We're gonna meet on Sundays to prepare to possess the land.
Listen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go deeper into this on Sunday. We're going to go deeper into these insecurities. We're going to go deeper in the thing about what God has given Shift. And I have to say this.
Can't rush nature.
God has given us a ministry that gives the people back their voice.
Yes.
So we pass the mic around. We give people an opportunity to share what God has done in their life, or maybe it's somebody that's been through what somebody else said they're dealing with, and they can help. So we are giving the people their voice back.
Yes.
At Shift Movement. So come out. I'm putting the flyer up. It's already on the Shift Real Talk.
Yeah, it's already on the page, man. It's already on the page. That'll come out 6 o'clock this Sunday.
6 o'clock p.m. You are going to have a
live
phenomenal
music.
time.
Yes.
Free flowing praise and worship.
Yes.
It is going to be a powerful move of God, and you will never find two Shift Movement events that
we love
ever
you more,
look
mind
the same.
provoking. Look,
they
we want to
never
talk
look
with
the
you.
Same.
We want to talk with you later about next week. So we gonna call you.
Hey,
Lasagna.
So yes, Sonya, I saw that. She on the line. So Sonya, I wish that you were here. So listen, if you're in the Houston, Texas area, come out Sunday at 6 p.m.
What's the address?
It's 8805 Salon Road, Suite G7. Salon is spelled SOLON.
Yes.
Suite G7, 8805 Salon Road, Houston,
serious?
Texas.
Al, connect me with her, man.
Baby.
I'm sorry.
You have these people's numbers. Okay. You can actually call them. But anyway.
Thank you, Mama Pearlie.
This is what you're going to get. It's going to be some music, some real talk conversation, some beautiful experiences, encounters, making great connections, laughing, crying, whatever it is that God gonna do, it's gonna be great.
Looking Mama Pearlie and Aunt Liza for them to be there. We thank you, Aunt Liza, because she supplied the food.
Absolutely.
And man, we thank you so much. We came together as a team.
God worked that thing.
And they truly are like mothers to us. You know what I'm saying? They are there, even though we've counseled some of them, but we still respect them and their calling in God. So we love them. Yes.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. Shift is not about membership.
Yes,
it's about
right.
Kingdom building.
Yes,
so it's not about having members. And what I want to say is Mama Pearlie, Aunt Liza, and Mother Carolyn LeBlanc, those are the three mothers of Shift.
All right, but like you said, you want to rush me.
Those are the three mothers.
Listen, we got to go, y'all.
I'm going to talk to y'all about that later.
Yeah, we got to go, but listen, y'all, please, we need y'all. We need you. We need y'all. Like and share. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. We need y'all to subscribe. Shift Real Talk TV. We are still on channel49tv.com. We're working on a Roku channel. And we're now casting. We're gonna be now casting. So we got a lot of stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
And we asking you, man, to really get this word out, to get this stuff out, man. We just asking you to help us out.
Get the word out.
To help us out by sowing into the ministry.
Absolutely.
The Cash App is $Love Shifted Me. We doing the work. So please.
Shifted SHIFT.
Carla Brooks, you were quiet today, sis.
Babe, I'm giving the.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, Lord. Don't worry about it.
Give it, girl.
Okay, it's.
Oh, now she's gonna stop now. See, attention seeker.
We're not gonna do that. Oh, don't do. You will not. You will not. Y'all better get him.
All right.
Y'all.
She did all this.
Y'all better get him. Okay, it's $LoveShifted Love Shifted Me.
Is there echo in here?
The reason why I did that because the other day when we gave it out, people were asking us to spell it. So I just learned from my experiences, Pastor J. You so ill tonight. I will get you. Oh my God. Anyway,
Amber is on.
So Amber is on?
Yes.
Hey Amber.
Hey Amber. Man, you caught that. Go back and watch it, Amber.
We love us some Amber.
We love Amber.
Her mom.
I call her Tasha Cobbs. We've already given them a
shout out, but God is so good. Listen. Our time has come to an end.
Yeah, our time has come up, man. We got to go, because we're going in overtime.
Absolutely.
But listen, y'all.
Here at Sacred Stone Studios, if you're in the Houston area, listen, if you want an amazing studio to come to for all of your podcasts, radio, mixing and mastering and all of those skills, come to Sacred Stone Studios and Marcus and Quincy will take care of you. It's a guarantee.
Amber, man, we love you so much, man. Thank you, guys. So listen, y'all, we got to go. I'm your boy, Pastor J.
And I'm your girl, Lady Free.
Until next week, y'all, we out.
We out.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.